about the lover boy method. So the suggestion is that you and your brother and others, but let's talk about you, that you deploy the lover boy method, where you would make women fall in love with you,
Yep.
you would then persuade them to do webcam stuff,
It's
right?
this guy. He
Okay, but
keeps
wait, let's call it webcam
saying
stuff, right?
TikTok, bro. It is annoying, bro. Straight up. Yeah.
Say,
yeah, he's wild.
Well, we found conversations where he gave advice on how to go viral on TikTok.
Yeah,
he's making women do TikTok, but he isn't being horrible to them. He's not hating them.
Yeah, dudes who do that lover boy, who do the LBM, they say nice things, but they are not genuinely nice things. They are not genuinely nice things, but they are nice things, but they're not. It is not. It is not. Yeah. It is not real love. It is not real love. It is a facade. It's a facade. Yeah, love bombing. That's what that is synonymous to. They say nice things. They say what you want. They say things that you want to hear in the beginning of the relationship, But yeah, this. Yeah, it becomes worse. It becomes worse. It definitely definitely becomes worse. The person that the woman that the dude is doing the LBM on, the woman does not know. The woman is oblivious, is unaware of the deception, the manipulation that is happening. She is unaware, oblivious. Yeah, that is what toxic people do. That is what abusers do. They manipulate. They trick your mind. They deceive you. They make it seem like they are, like they really care about you, but they really don't.
Imagine the Matrix is pissed off.
You are miserable in that bond. That bond is poisonous.
They say, he's making women do well. No, let's not call it that. The indictment is about TikTok.
Okay, what would you make the women do?
And that bond is to be extricated
he's making
from.
Women do well. We found conversations where
be liberated from.
Viral on TikTok. He's making women
webcam stuff, right?
TikTok.
Okay, but wait, let's call it webcam stuff, right?
No, let's not call it that. The indictment is about TikTok.
Okay, what would you make the women do?
This
what
guy.
would they do with you?
I don't make anybody do anything.
Okay.
In fact, let's talk about the lover boy method. It's very interesting. Let's imagine the Matrix is pissed off with a said individual who's telling too much truth and everybody is listening.
Said the Matrix again, bro. He said the Matrix
They say,
again.
He's making women do, well, we found conversations where he gave advice on how to go viral on TikTok. He's making women do TikTok, but he isn't being horrible.
He says the Matrix is to blame. The Matrix is culpable, blameworthy.
Let me say lover boy method. Do you know what lover boy method means? Being nice.
To be held accountable. He said the Matrix is at fault. The Matrix. Not him. He's not at fault. The Matrix.
He's not hitting them. He's not being mean to them. So what can we do? Let's imagine the Matrix is pissed off with a said individual who's telling too much truth and everybody is listening to him, and they decide they're going to attack him with sexual assault claims. They say
that you
more
deploy the lover boy
evasion
method, where you
of
would
ac-
make
of
women fall in
accountability.
love with you,
More-
you would then persuade
more
them to do
evasion
webcam
of
stuff,
accountability.
right?
TikTok.
Okay, but wait, let's call it webcam stuff, right?
No, let's not call it that. The indictment is about TikTok.
Okay, what would you make the women do, or what would they do with you?
I don't make anybody do anything.
Okay.
In fact, let's talk about the lover boy method. This is
Yeah.
very interesting. Let's imagine the Matrix is pissed off with a said individual who's telling too much truth and everybody is listening to him, and they decide they're going to attack him with sexual assault claims. They say, he's making women do, well, we found conversations where he gave advice on how to go viral on TikTok. He's making women do TikTok, but he isn't being horrible to them. He's not hitting them. He's not being mean to them. So what can we do? Let's use the lover boy method. If I was abusive and mean, it wouldn't say lover boy method. Do you know what lover boy method means? Being nice. He was nice.
But that it is not nice in a genuine way. He leaves that up. It's not. He wants people to believe that it is a good thing. He's trying to deceive his proponents, his supporters, his people, his audience. He's trying to deceive Morgan's audience too. Both audiences. He's trying to deceive the listeners, bro. That's not positive, bro. This guy is dishonest, bro. Andrew Tate is dishonest. He is dishonest, bro. Indubitably, bro. Anybody that thinks that anybody who thinks LBM is positive is delusional. Brainwashed. Programmed. Benighted, whatever you want to say.
Say, he's making women do, well, we found conversations where he gave advice on how to go viral on TikTok. He's making women do TikTok,
foolish.
but he isn't being horrible to them. He's not hitting them. He's not being mean to them. So what can we do? Let's use the lover boy method. If I was abusive and mean, it wouldn't say lover boy method. Do you know what lover boy method means? Being nice. He was nice and polite and kind, and they really liked him as a person, and he told them how to do TikTok.
That's not what the
He's
lover
a lover boy.
That's not.
Of course it is.
Andrew, that's not what the lover boy method is.
Does he not know what
Absolutely.
The
LBM
lover boy
means?
method is where perpetrators woo victims with the prospect of a loving relationship
Yep.
until they can be forced into abusive situations or a form of slavery.
Yep.
This is
Tyranny.
wrong.
That's actually what it
Power.
means.
The lover boy method is being
Power
nice
control.
to people so that you
No.
work together effectively.
No,
What they're trying to say
that's
here.
that's not.
Form of
This
slavery.
guy Andrew
This
Tate,
is
he's
wrong.
That's
bugging,
actually
bro.
what it means.
The lover boy method is being nice to people so that you work together effectively.
No.
What they're trying to say here.
That's
I
not-
was
that's not
nice
the
to girls
definition.
who asked me for TikTok advice, and they sang it's the lover boy
This-
method.
this guy-
I didn't beat them into doing TikTok. I didn't force them. I didn't threaten them. In fact, I was like, yeah, you're very pretty. You can be pretty famous.
Was there
You can
any
do well."
element of coercion?
How can there be an element? What does that even mean? Let's be professionals here. What does that even mean?
What do you think coercion means?
I was coerced into this interview. You came along to me and said,
You weren't coerced in this interview.
Yes, I was.
Well, don't tell me. The
Yeah, this
Marine
guy is-
MSM
this
said,
guy is
Andrew, you've
wi-
got to do an
he's
interview.
wild.
And I'm going to fly all
No,
the way to Romania
no,
to do it.
you
You do
didn't
me
do
a
that.
favour.
You used the lover boy method.
I refuse
Said,
to
"Sir,
believe he
lover
was
boy
coerced
method.
to do
Andrew,
that
this is gonna be a very
interview.
interesting interview.
I
We had a good
truly
one last
refuse
time. You're a nice
to
guy. We
believe
had some interesting
that he was
conversation."
coerced to do that interview, bruh. I refuse.
You didn't do that. You used the lover boy method. You said, "Sir, lover boy
Dude,
method."
what?
Andrew, this is gonna be
Yo,
a very
Andrew
interesting
Tate, is he
interview. We had a good one last
is he
time.
on
You're a nice
crack?
guy. We had
Is
some
this
interesting
guy
conversation.
I didn't say you were nice. We're gonna have a
on crack? Is he messing with the crack? Is this dude this guy, Andrew, bruh. That's he is misusing LBM, bro. That is not how you use that term, bro. This guy doesn't know what this guy knows what LBM is, bro. He just thinks people are dumb, bro. He thinks people are He's
Yes,
dishonest,
I was.
bro.
Well, don't tell me. The
He's-
bullying
he's-
in
he
MSN
is
said, Andrew, you've
undoubtedly
got to do
dishonest.
and I'm going to find out
Undoubtedly
what to do it.
You
You
didn't
didn't
do
do
that.
that.
You used the lover boy method. You said,
So
sir,
lover boy method.
yeah, Andrew, this is going to be a very interesting interview. We had a good one last time. You're a nice guy. We have some interesting conversations.
I didn't say you were a
I'm
nice
going to
guy.
come along.
Wait a minute.
We're going to make some money from
Hey,
this interview.
wait a minute.
Money will be made for
Wait a
all
minute.
sides.
Wait a
You
minute.
lover boyed me.
Wait
and
a minute.
You stole the profit.
But just to be clear, I've had no conversation with you about this interview, and the conversations I've had with your intermediary were very professional, and I said I would like to do an interview.
Were you nice?
I'm always nice.
Lover boy. Can't believe you used niceness to lover boy me because this is a profitable enterprise and I was coerced here.
I made no pretense that I've come all the way from London to Romania to
Correct.
interview you, because yes, I want to do it on my show, and that will clearly benefit me and my show.
Am I a full-grown consenting adult who decided
The
to do
the
this
idea,
show?
yeah, but you're not being coerced into doing
Am I a
this.
full-grown consenting adult who decided to do this show?
Yes.
Okay, so I wasn't coerced, correct?
But what's that got to do with what I've asked you?
Because you were nice to me and you're saying that.
I wasn't nice to you. I didn't even talk to you.
Being nice is the lover boy method in that
Andrew,
adults have no
Andrew, I
personal
wasn't-
responsibility.
I
And
wasn't
nice
nice.
to someone, they become your slave.
I wasn't nice to you. I didn't call you a nice guy.
I feel lover.
Hmm?
I feel lover boy.
Serious.
I'm sorry.
Well, I'm sorry.
It's fine.
You had a website, Hustlers University, offering courses teaching husbands and boyfriends how to get their partners into
Absolutely
webcam.
false. The Hustlers University, which you can go to now, actually, we changed the domain, it's university.com, is a school which teaches modern wealth creation methods. We teach people how to make websites, we teach people e-com.
Why did you call it a PhD pimping hose degree?
No, you're talking about an old video which was made
But
satirical.
why did you call it that? Oh, that was satire.
Of course it was. 9 years ago, the internet was a very different place. If you're going to sit here and say, oh, 9 years ago you said stupid things on the internet, it's not a gotcha moment, because every single person has. So have you.
No, but you'd be very.
So have you, because you advocate for the vaccine,
You-
sir. So
yeah,
you said
absolutely.
stupid things on the internet,
Yeah.
right? That's how things go. It's satirical. I also said I'm an astronaut. Do you believe I've been to the moon? Because I haven't, believe it or not. Hustle University teaches children
But you
how to
don't-
make websites, and it teaches. And it's
There's only one reason I'm
and it's
asking.
fitness
The only reason I'm asking you, you've repeatedly said in interviews since you were arrested that you have never categorized yourself as a pimp. You don't think you're a pimp, right?
Well, what about all the rappers? Did you ask Ice Cube if he's a pimp and a murderer and a drug dealer?
I'm not
Jay-Z
interviewing-
sold crack.
I'm not
We're sitting
interviewing.
here talking.
I'm not interviewing them. I'm asking you whether you have at any stage in the last 15 years been a pimp.
Of course I've not been a pimp. I've said I'm a pimp. I've said I'm an astronaut. I've said I'm a cowboy. I've said I'm the strongest man in the world. I've said I'm James Bond. Throw me in jail.
Are you just?
Put me in jail.
Okay.
I deserve it. 9 years ago I made a joke on the internet.
So here's my question: Are you a fantasist?
I'm not a fantasist.
Like, do you have a persona that's just not you?
Of course not. I am me.
Well, if you are you, why would you repeatedly call yourself a pimp and then now say you've never been a pimp?
Are you going to sit here and say that because I've once said, oh,
I'm curious whether if you're trying to say to me you didn't mean any of the things you said. So I'm asking myself, well, why should I believe anything you say now? In other words, is what you say actually what you mean? Is Andrew Tate real? Or do you have a complete persona that you've fueled for money that has nothing to do with the real you? I don't know. You tell me.
I exaggerated on the internet 9 years ago for comedic effect. I'd walk into a nightclub and there'd be girls at my table, like every other man who walks to a nightclub, and I'd say, pimp it. Oh no, put me in jail. 93 days was not enough with the cockroaches. I should go back. This is a matrix attack, Piers. Every single person, every single man out there has done things worse than I've done. In fact, I will argue, if you put 99.9% of men through the level of scrutiny I've been through by multiple federal agencies, you will find a lot worse than him saying he was a pimp on the internet 9 years ago. You will find actual genuine crime. And I've done nothing. I live true to God. This is all garbage, and it's not real.
Like I said, I don't know if you're guilty or not.
I do, and I am not guilty.
No, but
It's a matrix attack.
I want to be clear to you, I'm not preempting your guilt. I've come here with a completely open mind. You've been charged with serious offences, but I am not going to judge you because I'm not a judge and this is not a courtroom, right?
Yeah.
But it's interesting to me that one of the biggest
Andrew
charges
is
against you is that you're a
still
misogynist. And you always say,
evading
"I'm not a misogynist."
accountability, bro. That's crazy. He keeps saying matrix. Yeah, that is garbage.
The biggest charges against you is that you're a misogynist. And you've always said, I'm not a misogynist.
I am not guilty.
No, but
It's a matrix attack.
I want to be clear to you,
Bruh.
I'm not preempting your guilt. I've come here with a completely open mind. You've been charged with serious offences, but I am not going to judge you because I'm not a judge and this is not a courtroom, right? But it's interesting to me that one of the biggest charges against you is that you're a misogynist. And you've always said, I'm not a misogynist. And the last time I interviewed you, said, well, I may have said some things that, maybe.
He said that
misconstrued.
women are
But
inferior.
even
He
in the
did
last
say
week,
that. He
you've
did
tweeted
say
some
that.
stuff
I did
which
hear him say that years, a while ago, a while ago.
said some things that, may have been misconstrued. But even in the last week, you've tweeted some stuff which I'm not even sure if you're aware as you tweet this stuff, how it sounds.
That statement is misogynistic.
Okay, this is quite
Women
a long
are
one,
inferior.
but I think it's important to read it to get a sense of how you view women.
Absolutely.
Any woman I date does not have a job. The biggest charges against you is that you're a misogynist.
That statement, women are inferior. That statement is truly misogynistic. Truly misogynistic. That statement is truly misogynistic. A plenitude of people, they say that certain things that dudes say are misogynistic, but those things are not misogynistic. They are not. They are things that the snowflakes are averse to. That they are statements that the snowflakes don't agree with, that they don't agree with or don't like, but that doesn't mean that they are hateful towards women or denigratory or castigatory. Everything is not misogynistic. Certain things are, but not. I hate when the misandrists, when the male feminists, when the wokies, I hate when they call everybody who disagrees a misogynist, a misogynist. I hate that, bruh. The cancel culture, the slander, the vituperation, I hate that. I really do.
Why an actual genuine crime, and I've done nothing. I live true to God. This is all garbage, and it's not real.
Like I said, I don't know if you're guilty or not.
I do,
Okay.
and I am not guilty.
No, but
It's a matrix attack.
I want to be clear.
Women are
I'm not
inferior.
preempting your guilt.
That
I've
is
come here with a completely
misogynistic.
open mind. You've been charged with
For
serious
sure.
offences, but I am not going to judge you because I'm not a judge. This is not courtroom, right? But it's interesting to me that one of the biggest charges against you is that
Devo
you're a
is
misogynist. And
far
you've always said,
from
I'm not a misogynist.
from
And last time I interviewed you,
a
said, well, I
wokie.
may have said some things that may have been misconstrued. But even in the last week, you've tweeted some stuff which I'm not even sure if you're aware as you tweet this stuff how it sounds.
Read it.
Okay, let's read. This is. Like I said, I don't know if you're guilty or not.
I do,
Okay.
and I am not guilty.
No, but
It's a matrix attack.
I want to be clear to you, I'm not preempting your guilt. I've come here with a completely open mind. You've been charged with serious offences, but I am not going to judge you because I'm not a judge and this is not courtroom, right? But it's interesting to me that one of the biggest charges against you is that you're a misogynist. And you've always said, I'm not a misogynist. And the last time I interviewed you, said, well, I may have said some things that may have been misconstrued. But even in the last week, you've tweeted some stuff which I'm not even sure if you're aware as you tweet this stuff how it sounds.
Read it.
Okay, let's read. This is quite a long one,
Sure.
but I think it's important to read it to get a sense of how you view women.
Absolutely.
Any woman I date does not have a job. Okay, so the woman you're with doesn't have a job.
No.
Okay. Do you date other women?
Sometimes.
And your partner's fine with that?
Obviously.
Yeah? And you're fine with that?
Why wouldn't I?
If they're
What do you think is fine
if
with
she's
dating other women
truly
when you're-
happy with that role, then it's all good. It's not slavery certain the wokies, they equated the women at home who cook, who clean for their men. They equated them to. They equated cooking, cleaning, doing the traditionally female things to. They equated them to subservience, to servility, to subordination. That's what they equated them to enslavement, bro. As if every traditional woman is unhappy, is enslaved, is forced to do these things. These things, nah, bro. A lot, certain trad moms, trad wives, they love doing what they do for their husbands, for their men, for their men. They are not miserable. They are not unhappy. The, people shouldn't jump to conclusions and judge before they have the facts straight, bro. They shouldn't be condescending. No, people from both from the trad community and from the community that is outside of the trad wife community. Uh, yeah, man. Like no group is superior. No group is inferior. If you want to be at home and, and clean for your man, you should be able to, and allowed to do that. If you truly want to do that, if you do not want to do that, you don't have to do that. You can, if you want to work, be a career woman, that's your prerogative, your volition. You shouldn't, yeah, bro. If you truly want to do that, then it's not problematic. Yeah.
Sounds.
Read it.
Okay, let's read. This is quite a long one,
Sure.
but I think it's important to read it to get a sense of how you view women.
Absolutely.
Any woman I date does not have a job. Okay, so the woman you're with doesn't have a job.
No.
Okay. Do you date other women?
Sometimes.
And your partner's fine with that?
Obviously.
Yeah? And you're fine with that?
Why wouldn't I be?
Well, you think it's fine to be dating other women when you have a
I
mother
think
and
we're
a kid?
consenting adults and everybody can make their own personal
Okay,
decisions.
fair enough. Why would I be working so hard, you say, to have hundreds of millions for my woman to waste her life enslaved to pennies? No. I will give you a life you can never ever afford. Private jets, five-star hotels, new cars, endless spending money and diamonds. You will be rich because you're praying for me every day and protecting my spirit. I work in the physical world, she works in the spirit world. Women shouldn't have to work because being a good partner is a full-time job for a woman. She has to look good. All the beauty treatments are time intensive. Not about money, it takes a lot of time. She has to train every day and stay in fantastic shape. Shop to look amazing next to me. I know there are some men who do 100 times more than this on a daily basis, but women are not as organized as men, and achieving anything significant causes them huge amounts of stress. They need to have huge sections of their day empty to waste, or they will have a mental breakdown. And do you want a woman who's stressed and angry after the commute, unshaven and exhausted? Or do you want a Barbie doll who's always smiling and saying thank you because she did her nails and bought you Prada that day? As a man, unless you're a loser, you're already filthy rich, right? You can get endless sex anyway. Girls are easy. So what can a girl give you? Happiness, vibes, always smiling. Take the edge off a stressful life. Can she always be happy if she's been working all day? No. Just to wake up at 11, gym till 1, one appointment and some shopping. Dress beautiful by 7 p.m. for you to finish working and tell you how strong you are. No matter how pissed off you are, just to always be laughing and smiling and writing your little notes about how you're perfect. And just to be playful and fun. She can't do that if she has a job. So your job is being my girlfriend, and now you're a millionaire. Congratulations. Behave and aim for the promotion to wife. The reason I read all that in detail was, I don't think you understand quite how that comes over, because I think that is the purest definition of misogyny I've probably ever read.
Well, I don't think you understand. One, especially when I'm talking about the fact that women can't handle what men can do, etc. One is slightly sarcastic. There's a sarcastic
So
tone.
do you mean any of this?
Oh, I mean all of it. Any woman I'm with, I will provide for. Because
No
I'm
woman
protected.
should work. They should spend all day beautifying themselves for you, right? And they make you promoted to wife. Your job is being my girlfriend. There are hundreds of millions of women around the world who do a good day's work, who still manage to be a very good wife or partner.
Agreed.
I agree with
But
that.
it's
With
my
Why
that
would
too.
you encourage? Why would you encourage
That
a whole
statement right
generation
there.
of young men? I mean, I'm going to be
That he
honest.
just-
Since our last two interviews, before you arrested, I would say every single
But
day.
there's
I have
nothing
young
wrong
men,
with
teenage
being,
boys, maybe early 20s, coming up to me asking about you. It's gone on
a
every
traditional
day since I
woman,
interviewed you. I'm very aware of your reach. I'm very aware of your influence, and
a traditional wife, a traditional.
20s coming up to
As
me
long
asking
as
about you.
there's no
It's gone on every day since I interviewed you. I'm very
tyranny,
aware of
no
your reach. I'm very
despotism,
aware of your
no
influence, and I'm
mistreatment.
wife or
Then
partner.
it's not
Completely.
problematic.
But it's
Why would you
As long
encourage? Why would
as-
you encourage
as
a
long
whole generation
as
of young
she
men?
wants
I mean, I'm
to
going to be
do
honest.
that.
Since our last
Then it's not problematic.
wife
It's-
or partner.
it's not subservient.
Completely. But it's my
Why
life.
would you encourage?
If
Why would
she
you encourage a
happily
whole generation of
cooks,
young men? I mean,
cleans,
I'm going to be
cooks.
honest. Since our last two interviews,
If she-
before you arrested.
Truly wants to do those things for her man. Why she should not be excoriated, she should not be vilified, she should not be derided, she should not be vituperated for doing the traditionally female things for bro.
My girlfriend. There are hundreds of millions of women around the world who do a good day's work.
She should not
who
be
still manage to be a
condescending.
very good wife or
Agreed.
partner. right?
Agreed. Completely. But it's my
So why
life.
would you encourage? Why would you encourage a whole generation of young men? I mean, I'm going to be honest. Since our last two interviews, before you arrested, I would say every single day I have young men, teenage boys, right, and they make you promoted to wife. Your job is being my girlfriend. There are hundreds of millions of women around the world who do a good day's work, who still manage to be a very good wife or partner. right?
Agreed. Completely. But it's my
So why
life.
would you encourage? Why would you
Definitely.
encourage a whole generation of young men? I mean, I'm going to be honest. Since our last two interviews, before you arrested, I would say every single day I have young men, teenage boys, maybe early 20s, coming up to me asking about you. It's gone on every day since I interviewed you. I'm very aware of your reach. I'm very aware of your influence. And whenever I've been asked about you, they say, what do you think of him? I said, I don't really know. I find myself agreeing with 60 to 70% of the things you say, and I do, because I think a lot of the stuff you say about empowering young men to be confident, to work out, to take care of themselves.
Yeah.
To have enough money to not force their woman to work.
Right, but that's the bit. That's the bit where, when you stray into that kind of language, particularly in the detail where you reveal what you're really thinking, the kind of pathetic, soulless life you want for these women, where does it allow for being a mother, for example?
Being absolutely
How does the mother of your children manage to find time for being a mother
How does
in this
this-
routine of love and devotion to you?
How does having a job give her time to be a mother? This gives her all the time in the world to be a mother. One is slightly sarcastic person.
What do you mean? Do you mean you don't?
By the tone.
Do you mean you don't mean it?
No, I mean it.
Well, which
But
mean?
it's slightly sarcastic.
Well, sarcasm
or
means
comedic effect.
sarcasm means you don't mean it.
No, I mean it.
Facts.
But it's slightly
Well, you either
sarcastic.
mean it or you don't. It's either sarcastic or it's not.
I mean
Facts.
every single word.
But this is the conundrum with you, Andy.
Yeah, sarcasm.
This is the conundrum.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, people who are sarcastic truly do not mean what they say. Yeah, they're not being serious when they say the things that they say. Yeah, does this man not know what sarcasm means, bro? This is another another thing. At first, it was the lover boy method. He didn't know. Yeah. I said, does he? Yeah. He doesn't know what LBM means. LBM means. Now sarcasm. He doesn't know what sarcasm means, brother. Yeah, bruh.
Time for being a mother in this routine of love and devotion to you.
How does having a job give her time to be a mother? This gives her all the time in the world to be a mother. One is slightly sarcastic, first. Secondly,
What do you mean? Do you mean you don't?
by the tone.
Do you mean you don't mean it?
No, I mean it.
Well, which
But
mean?
it's slightly sarcastic.
Well, sarcasm means
comedic effect.
sarcasm means you don't mean it.
No, I
Facts.
mean it. But it's slightly
You either
sarcastic.
mean it or you don't. It's either
Facts.
sarcastic or it's not.
I mean every single word.
But this is the conundrum.
Comedic effect.
Sarcasm means you don't mean it.
No, I mean it. But it's slightly
You either
sarcastic.
mean it or you don't. It's either sarcastic or it's not.
I mean every single word.
But this is the
But it's
conundrum with
slightly
you, Andrew.
sarcastic.
Andrew.
Sarcastic. Comedic effect.
Sarcasm means you don't mean it.
No, I mean it. But it's slightly
You either
sarcastic.
mean it or you don't. It's either sarcastic or it's not.
I mean every single word.
But this is the
But it's
conundrum with
slightly
you, Andrew.
sarcastic.
Andrew,
Sarcastic.
this is the conundrum with you, right?
It's not a conundrum. If you let me explain, it's not a conundrum at all.
You tweet-
and also,
you
what's more
tweet this.
interesting, I tweeted this out. I get thousands of women
Yeah.
begging me, inboxing me, saying, finally a man who understands he needs to provide for a woman so she can be her best self.
Right.
This is exactly the kind of life that will allow
But no, there are definitely women that will absolutely love to be
So why don't you
treated
are
like
they
this.
misogynists?
No, but what I think they're people who just basically, it's the old sugar daddy thing, right? They want to have a rich guy who's going to pamper them and take care of them. They don't have to do a day's work. They just have to make
Being a
themselves
good partner
look
is
good
a
for
day's
you.
work.
Well, so you say.
Yeah.
But it also, the language that you use here seriously diminishes women who do work. You make them out to be, well, you're not doing your job as a partner or wife. You should be doing your job, which is just to devote yourself to his pleasure and making him
Well, it's
happy.
actually interesting you say that, because I'll put a lot of the fault of this on men. Let's, if you want to gender the argument, let's do that. I think that a lot of the reason why women can't live this life, if they so choose, if you're a woman who decides to work, then go to work. I don't
Yeah.
care. But if you're a woman who decides she wants to retire, it's because you can't find a man who could provide for her at this level. Do you think when
Facts.
a woman marries
Facts.
a billionaire, that she wants to go get a job in Starbucks? Because in my experience, when they marry extremely successful men, they don't want a job. I'm sure Ronaldo's wife isn't begging to go work in IKEA.
Actually,
No.
Ronaldo's wife works very hard.
She works for herself. She wants to retire because she can't find a man who could provide for her at this level. Do you think when a woman marries a billionaire that she wants to go get a job in Starbucks? Because in my experience, when they marry extremely successful men, they don't want a job. I'm sure Ronaldo's wife isn't begging to go work in IKEA.
Actually,
No.
Ronaldo's wife works very hard.
She works for herself. She's different.
And the family.
Of course, yeah, which is
She's a
different.
hard-working woman.
Absolutely, because being a fantastic partner and having a bunch of children is a bunch of hard work. And she also finds the energy to have businesses on the side.
Right.
Fantastic.
But you
So
don't
what we're
want,
saying here,
but you don't want women to have business.
no, I'm saying if you're with a man of my stature, you don't have to work. Now, if I met a perfect woman and we were together and we were happy,
When you say a man of your stature, with respect, right now you have no income, no possessions,
Correct, I'm
and you're
completely
facing
flat broke.
serious criminal charges. I mean, I'm not quite sure what stature you think you're currently selling, but it ain't great.
okay, well then it's a shame all those women inboxed me after I put that tweet out saying,
I got no-
I agree with you. I think you should interview.
I
all
met
the
a
men
woman
who are
yesterday who, when I
against
said I was coming to interview you, was immediately like, "Oh, can you put a good word in for me?"
it. Of course.
Sure, you have a definite appeal to a certain type of woman. There's no question.
I
My
think
question,
providing
my
for a
question is,
woman
if I was
financially is a man's responsibility. If that means I'm a misogynist,
The traditional
No, but-
role of a
I
man.
so you accept you are.
Provide,
no, I
protect.
think a man should provide for a woman
Yeah,
financially,
yes.
completely and utterly. If she wants to work, if my partner were to say to me right now, I really feel like getting a job, it would make me happy, then I'll say work. But she
Yeah.
doesn't have to.
Yeah.
Her job is looking after the children, looking after me, and being as happy as possible. If you think I'm a bad person for saying, if you actually read that, read the subtext and context.
I read it all out.
Okay, good. Then you understand what I'm saying.
You know I did. You heard it.
Well, absolutely. So what I'm saying is, I am a man, my life is stressful, my life is pain. I go to jail, I suffer, I have to deal with making money. I have constant endless headache. I do all of that so I can give you everything, but then I get to have you. Your job is to be happy. I want you to smile. I want you to look your best and feel your best all of the time. If I'm a misogynist for saying that I go through so much pain so that we can be
I
financially
don't think he's a
secure, so I hope the woman I care about does not have to work a job. If that makes me a bad person, then so be it.
I
Because
don't
all I'm
think
saying, if I want to
he
take care
is
of her in every
a
single realm, I take care of her physical
misogynist
safety, I take care of her
for
financial
saying
security. That is
the
my job
traditional
as a
role
man.
of a man
And if
is
more
to
men acted
provide
like me, you will see that the world will be a happier and better place.
But
The
he
women
is
who say, "I
for
really want to
saying
work, I want a career,"
women
that's their
are
prerogative and their
inferior.
decision. They're
He
allowed
did
to do
say that.
But also, often the reason they do that is because they can't find a man they trust to take care of them.
I agree with this part. So, hold on.
I take care of her financial security. That is my job as a man. And if more men acted like me, you will see that the world will be a happier and better place. The women who say, "I really want to work, I want a career," that's their prerogative and their decision. They're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
But also, often the reason they do that is because they can't find a man they trust to take care of them. I've had this. I've had this from women in their own mouth.
Andrew,
If I found a man who was
that's-
financially secure and as
Tate
smart as you,
is
I wouldn't be
speaking-
doing this garbage job either. Why was I
Speaking
silenced
facts right
into
there.
working to pay
You gotta
taxes
keep it a
when I
buck.
should
You
be at home
gotta
having
be
children
unbiased.
and I adore?
That's
Andrew,
what I am
Andrew,
being
There are
right
so
now.
many women that will listen to that and be laughing,
Even though I don't like
mocking.
Andrew
Will
Tate,
there?
Say, don't be so
I agree
ridiculous. I have a job that I love.
that the
Maybe
traditional
they're being paid
role of
even
a
more
man
than
is
their
to
man,
protect,
right?
to
The real
provide.
world isn't the one that you categorize.
The real world is varied and nuanced, but I am talking about my life experience.
There's a
And my
very-
experience, any woman I love
Fine.
does not have to work unless she decides.
Fine, you're the boss, you're in charge, her job is to make you happy, her job is to make
The
herself look good,
traditional
her
role
job is to work out
of
for
a
your
man is to
benefit.
lead properly. That's the key word, properly. Not be a tyrant, not be a despot, not be not be domineering, not be controlling, not be abusive, but a man should lead properly in the romantic partnership. Man, lead. A man should. It is important. Indubitably important to lead the right to lead properly.
Categorize.
The real world is varied and nuanced, but I am talking about my life experience.
There's a
And my
very-
experience, any woman I love
Fine.
does not have to work unless she decides.
Fine, you're the boss, you're in charge, her job is to make you happy, her job is to make herself look good, her job is to work out for your benefit, blah, 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 blah. It is actually just misogyny.
Do you think a woman looking
And it's
good?
also-
Do you think a woman looking good and working out has no benefit at all to her?
Of course it does.
Okay, so it's not for my benefit, then, is it?
Don't you see, but when you talk about no, I don't. When you talk about young men and you tell them to work out and take care of themselves, I cheer you on. Right? I want that. I've got 3 sons. I want them to feel that.
Don't you want them to become very rich and successful and have a
course.
woman who relies on them and have a beautiful family?
No, but I don't want a woman who's subservient to them.
Why is subservience? Why is a woman
Literally, the
reliant?
tone of the tweet I read is subservient. You did another tweet this week. Men love by telling you what to do and not allowing you to make stupid decisions. We save you from the female inclination to make stupid choices. If a man is to give you instructions, he doesn't love you. If you won't listen to a man's instructions, you don't love him. The whole language is so ridiculous.
Let me change the language then.
Well, you tweeted this to
Absolutely.
8.2 million people.
Correct, so let me say this. A father loves. Let's say instead of a man loves, let's say a father loves. A father loves disciplinarian. That's how a father will love you. A mother will say, "Oh, I hope you're happy, hope you're doing okay." But a father will come along and say, "No, don't do this. You must do it that way. That's incorrect. It has to be this way." A father will discipline you because a father feels he knows best for you. It's the masculine essence of love. When a man loves, he shows that he cares by a degree.
But there is a massive difference between a relationship between a father and a child and between a man and a woman in a relationship.
Completely.
And I'm not sure you quite get
No,
that.
there is a difference. But I would argue, Piers, I would argue in the happiest relationships, it's a traditionally masculine role in which the man plays and provides. The female is traditionally feminine. The man is the head of the house. Not in an abusive way, doesn't beat her up. I'm talking about the man being the head of the household, like I would like to believe you're the head of your household. And he comes along and says what happens and what doesn't happen because he's the man of the house.
No, that's not. That's
that is
actually not how most households operate now.
Well, then it sounds like we understand
They
why
operate-
the entire world's a mess. Because only 10 years ago, that's exactly
The
how
breakdown
the households were
of the
operating. There was a
family.
man of the house, and now
The
we have...
destruction. Yep, when
Sounds
there's
like
no
we understand why
when
the
there's
entire
a-
world's
when
a
there
mess.
is
Because only 10
an
years ago,
imbalance.
that's exactly how the households were
when
operating. There was
the
a man of the
man
house, and now we...
is not when the man is acting like a woman, when a woman is acting like a man, bad outcomes happen, man. bad
into the household, like I would
outcomes
like to believe you're the head of
comes
your household.
happen.
And he comes along and says what happens and what doesn't happen because he's the man of the house.
No,
There
that's
needs to be a
not-
strong
that's actually
command.
not
There needs
how
to be
most
a
households
feminine woman
operate.
in
No,
the
But it
household.
sounds like we understand
balance.
why the entire world's a mess. Because only 10 years ago, that's exactly how the households were operated. There was a man of the house, and now we have no longer any clear defined roles. There's no more longer a man of the house. You want to talk about knife crime, kids doing drugs, the crime rate, all of these problems. You're talking about all of the societal ills
They
we face.
stem from
Perhaps because we don't have any men in the house.
bad
anymore.
parenting.
Perhaps we need to bring the man of the house back. And the man of the house will
Dysfunctional.
come along and be a
They're two functional, healthy parents are not present at home. Everything starts at home, man. Yeah. Straight up and down, man.
exactly how the households were operated. There was a man of the house, and now we have no longer any clear defined roles. There's no more longer a man of the house. You want to talk about knife crime, kids doing drugs, the crime rate, all of these problems. You're talking about all of the societal ills we face. Perhaps it's because we don't have any men in the house anymore. Perhaps we need to bring the man of the house back, and the man of the house will come along and be a disciplinarian, and he will make the set rules and
Not a
decrees of
tyrant,
that house.
not a
He will say
despot,
within this household,
but a strong
we don't
command.
take drugs. That stands for the woman I am with.
Not a
the children
spineless
who we
man,
have
not a
birthed.
soft
Nobody
man.
takes drugs in this household because it's
Not
my house.
an
I'm the man of the house.
overly
It sounds to
lenient
me
man.
like we need to bring it back.
Not a too lenient man, not a too, not an abusive man, but a logical man.
Macho stuff.
A healthy,
okay? And I know
functional
lots of young boys who listen
man.
to this and go, wow, that's how I should be. Can I read the detail of your tweets? And again, come back to this. We save women from their female inclination to make stupid choices.
Females are emotional.
If a man isn't
They are
given
emotional.
instructions,
Females are
hang on,
emotional.
They
hang on,
are
Piers,
more
he doesn't love
than-
you. All this stuff is designed to, exactly as you just articulated, is designed to make young men feel that the only way they can be successful in life is to effectively have
Females
their women
are
under
more
control,
emotional
give
than
them
men.
instructions,
Men
and
are
they
more
have to
logical.
obey.
Don't buy
Let me
women
finish.
product, you'll end up in
I
jail.
could buy them Prada, but let me finish my point. My point is
But
that it seems
there's
to me,
emotional
reading
people
your
in
tweets, even
both
now,
genders.
that you have a
But
blind
women
spot
are
when it
more
comes to how they sound.
emotional.
And it may
Are
be,
more-
and it
are
may be that the
more
legal
emotional.
problems that you're in, which might be extremely serious, and we'll see when the trial happens, but it may be that in your head, nothing you've done is remotely inappropriate, because actually, in your tweets, you can see there's an element there of wanting coercion and control. You want to control women, you want them to be effectively your servants, slaves, for want of a better phrase.
Slaves who get Prada and get to work out in the gym and get to look good.
But you understand,
While I do
but you
actual
understand the
work.
point I'm making?
No, I don't.
Which is that in your head, the line is blurred so much now with this macho rhetoric that you've actually lost track of how this sounds.
Here's all of the things I'm.
Even when I read that stuff to you, I could see you looking at me, and you said, your answer is, I was being sarcastic. And I said, well, where? And then you go, well, no, I meant it. But it can't be both.
I meant it, and I said.
You either
it's a
mean it,
sarcastic tone
you either
of
mean it,
effect.
or it's, well, no, because sarcasm means you don't mean it.
Facts.
Here's all the things you just.
Do you accept that?
No,
You're a smart guy, you know what sarcasm means.
Absolutely. I said it has a sarcastic tone for comedic effect.
Mm.
All the things I'm saying and the things I've said are basically the way the entire world thought only 10 years ago. You may buy into the PSYOP, you may buy into the new thing.
I don't buy into any psyops.
We just talked about the vaccine, sir.
Yeah, the vaccines weren't psyops.
Of course not.
No.
So I believe that there should be a man of the house.
You had a polio vaccine, right?
Correct.
Why?
Because I didn't get polio. I wouldn't have a COVID vaccine because I'd still get COVID. Plus, probably myocarditis and have a heart attack. So, we believe there was a man of the house 10 years ago.
Do you think statistically more people got myocarditis by having the vaccine or not having it?
I think statistically we need to.
You don't know, do you?
Why would I know? Why would I look at the statistics?
Why would you bother
studies
to- why
that
would you-
come from the matrix itself?
So the matrix, so every fact you don't like, it doesn't suit your agenda, you just dismiss as matrix bullshit.
No, I'll give you a very simple way I view the world. COVID can't hurt me, so why would I take their injection?
You don't have to.
Point two.
You don't have to
They
take
tried
it.
to make us, including you.
Yeah.
You told me
Yes.
they
You know
should
why?
have the
You
vaccine.
know why?
If they don't have it, they shouldn't leave their house.
You know why? Because at the time, the scientists, and by the way, scientists is ever evolving. At the time I said that, the scientists said if you had the vaccine, it would prevent you transmitting the virus.
Injection.
The matrix.
That
That
turned out to be
BS
wrong,
shot. That's the
and they issued updated advice saying further studies
Fauci-
said that actually
Fauci
you could
is a liar.
transmit it. And at that point, you know what I did, which you never do? I held my hands up and went, I was wrong because the advice
I
changed.
salute Piers
and now I
for
would not say the
owning
same thing.
up
That is
to
called
the
actually
fact
involving
that he
opinions when facts
said
change.
that
That's
BS.
actually how a civilized democracy works.
We live in a civilized democracy, so I actually would argue that point with you for a very long time. I don't think we live in a civilized democracy. Another point I want to make here, if I had cancer, or if I was at threat of a genuine disease which could actually harm me, would the NHS text me 10 times a day, try and give me treatment, or would I be sitting there waiting for 8
I think the
months
way
to
the-
get an
I think the way-
appointment? They wouldn't care about me, they'd let me die.
The way
So the
they-
fact that they will endlessly text me and
I
try and
agree.
beg me to get this poison should have been an
Poison.
alarm bell for anybody with a brain.
Actually, I'll tell you what the NHS sent me. I'm a 58-year-old man. In the last few months, they've sent me one about a flu jab, which I'm going to have, because I think it stops you getting flu, and flu's nasty. A COVID booster, which I won't have. I think I've had enough of those. I'm fine with that, thanks. They sent me one about having a check for bowel cancer, which I've done. Came back negative, and so on and so on. The NHS texting system is for our benefit. You don't have to do it. No one's holding a gun to your head. The Matrix isn't saying, if you don't have this, Andrew Tate, we're gonna do something to you.
Do you have any idea
You're
how-
not you've not been treated in Romania by their system because of anything to do with COVID vaccines. And your attempt to try and persuade people that that's the case is ridiculous. And you know it's ridiculous.
Do you have any idea how difficult it was to remain unvaccinated, Piers? Let me tell you from somebody who was unvaccinated and traveled the world. Do you have any idea how difficult that was
Well, yes,
actually?
because countries had border controls.
No, because they tried to force everybody. So to sit and say they weren't trying to force, you know what they did?
I did not get
They
that
said,
injection,
come
bro.
get the COVID vaccine, it's good for you, it's gonna help.
And
They
they
tried to
lied
coerce you by
to
being
the
nice.
to the
They
public.
tried to lover boy everybody.
They
They tried to
manipulated
use the
people.
lover boy method to force people to get the COVID vaccine. It just came to the, we need to put all these people in jail. They were being nice to people,
Andrew.
trying
The
to
negative
help them.
programming,
Unbelievable.
the mendacity, the
Did you
canards.
know that? Absolutely and utterly not, sir. My principles are not for sale. I would have stayed in my house to the end of human time and sat there as a pureblood, the last one, the last pureblood on the planet before I inject myself with poison.
You're not making an MGM trailer.
Yes, I am, because it's a matter of principle. I am not a farm animal. My blood is mine. It does not belong to the government, and
Yeah.
I decide what is in it.
Right. All right. So you have a polio vaccine, but not
Correct.
a polio
F the
one.
Correct.
Your
these
brilliant
injections.
brain has determined that you know
F the
more
people
about
who said that if you don't get this injection, you deserve to DIE. The people that never took accountability, that never apologized, that never sincerely apologized for the demonic ish that they said. F y'all, bruh. Straight up and down, man. Y'all are demons, bro. Tyrants. Devilish, bro. Because somebody doesn't do what you want to do, that doesn't mean that he or she is inferior to you or dumb or stupid or crazy or deserves to DIE. Nah, bro. F y'all, bro. The people who did not apologize, bro.
Right, so you have
Bro,
a polio vaccine.
who are
Correct.
unrepentant.
Your brilliant brain has determined
Not
that you know
contrite.
more about the
Impenitent.
medicinal and scientific benefits of individual vaccines. Right, so you have a polio vaccine, but not
Correct.
a polio one.
Correct.
So your brilliant brain has determined that you know more about the medicinal and scientific benefits of individual vaccines. And the polio one, you decided with your brilliant brain, well, have that. But even though a lot of people, by the way, have had side effects to polio vaccine, did you know that?
Yes, correct.
Is that the Matrix doing that?
No, I didn't say the Matrix gave me the side effect. Oh, I just told you all the reasons I didn't get the vaccine.
Right.
I've already described it at length.
But you work out with your brilliant mind which vaccines to have.
Correct.
Okay, correct. You realize
You
how...
can join my email list on CoverTate.com. You can sign up for free, and I'll tell you which vaccine.
I wouldn't come to you for vaccine advice.
Why?
Andrew?
I
You have zero experience.
I didn't get the COVID one. I obviously did pretty good. I avoided the poison shot while everyone else got it, so I'm actually pretty proud of my track record.
What happens if you're found guilty of the things you're charged with?
Well, then I'm going to have to go to jail, I assume.
What's the maximum sentence you could get?
I don't know.
Yes, you do.
I actually genuinely don't.
You've never asked your lawyer?
It can be between 3 to 8 years. I
Right,
think.
so you do know.
I don't know the maximum.
But if you were to serve 8 years, having served 3 months and know how bad that was,
Yeah.
could you cope with that in a Romanian jail?
Interesting question. Could I cope with it? Yes. Would I be the same afterwards? I'm not sure.
What do you think even the 3 months did to you as a man?
Well, it was a fantastic test from God to make sure I am the man I say I am. Because I think there's a lot of people who speak about masculine excellence who are not the men they say they are. When trouble appears, you often learn that they are nothing but postures.
Favorite dress you have to wear, perfect hair day. You have to try this.
I had nightmares for a very long time. I couldn't sleep. I struggled with certain things. I would check my bed sheets every single night for cockroaches religiously. I had a problem with that. But I never turned to therapy. I never turned to drugs. I understood that all of these things are from God and they're given to me so that I can become a stronger version of myself. And I welcomed them all and I embraced them all. And now that I'm a better, not completely, but almost better, part of me actually misses my nightmares. Part of me misses training all night. I didn't sleep for weeks, months.
You said you didn't have nightmares.
No, I had nightmares. I said I didn't have nightmares in jail. When I left, I did. And I kind of miss it because I had so much time in the day to get things done. And now I'm sleeping a full 6 hours. I feel a little bit lazy. So perhaps I need another test from God. And if God decides, Allah is the best of planners, if he decides I need 8 years in jail, then I will embrace those 8 years in jail and do my absolute best to come out as the most formidable version of myself.
Have you felt suicidal at all in the last year?
I don't believe in suicide is haram.
I know, you said that before, but did you feel
Haram
like you may have ended
means
up?
I would never
forbidden
kill myself.
in
under any
Islam.
circumstances.
Prohibited.
They get on the news when they finally take me out, you know it's haram. It's haram. I would never kill myself. Lock me in that cell for the rest of my life. I would never kill myself.
While you were under house arrest, you tweeted this: avoid women who go to festivals. They're either on some loser's
What?
table who's feeding on cocaine or in a crowd of sweaty peasants because they're a sweaty peasant. Endless
What?
Instagram stories screaming and having fun to prove
Yeah,
to the world they're worthless.
this is wild.
Hard pass, festive
This part is
Right. I tweeted that, yes.
He doesn't make sense
why would
right
you
here.
categorize all women who go to festivals in
that,
such an
that
unpleasant
he
way?
Andrew is
I actually
bugging
categorized all
right
men
here.
who went to festivals also. Did you read that tweet?
He-
Why
that's-
are you gendering
I
the
don't- I hate
argument?
blanket
all men who go to
statements.
festivals are stupid. It is peasantry.
I
I've been to a
disagree.
festival in my life. I'm
I
not gonna
disagree.
stand there and scream and jump up and down.
There's logical people that go to festivals, bro. I know people that went to festivals that are intelligent, bro. I went to festivals, to Lollapalooza, to vegan festivals, like, yeah. This guy Andrew Tate, he be bugging, man.
Yes. Again, why would you categorize
He
all
makes
women
sense
who go to
about certain
festivals in
things,
such an
about
unpleasant way?
about
I
other
actually
other
categorized all
things.
men who
He
went to
be
festivals also. Did you
bugging.
read that tweet? Why are you gendering the argument? I think all people who go to festivals are stupid. It is peasantry. I've never been to a festival in my life. I'm not gonna.
He's bugging.
They're either on some loser's table who's feeding on cocaine or in a crowd of
I never did
peasants
cocaine ever in my.
because
I
they're
never
sweaty
did drugs,
peasants.
bro.
Endless
Straight-
Instagram
I've been
stories
straight
screaming and
edge
having fun
my
to prove to
entire
the world
life.
They're worthless. Hard pass festive hoes. Right. I tweeted that, yes. Again, why would you
For
categorize
my,
all women who go to festivals in such
the
an unpleasant way?
entirety
I
of
actually
my life,
categorized all men who went to festivals
I've
also.
been
Did
straight
you read that
edge
tweet?
since birth,
Right. I tweeted that, yes. Again, why would you categorize
and
all women who go to
will
festivals in such an
remain
unpleasant way?
for
I actually categorized all
perpetuity.
men who went to festivals also. Did you read that tweet? Why are you gendering the argument? I think all people who go to festivals are stupid. It is peasantry.
You're
I've never been to a festival in my life. I'm not going to stand there and
For
scream and jump up and down with
saying
some other human
that-
like he's gone.
that is-
I think the whole thing is embarrassing, all of it from head to toe. It's all sweaty peasantry, and it's all just drug-fueled insanity. So why are you gendering the argument when I insult the women who go to festivals and also the men who go to festivals? Because all of it is peasantry, head to toe, and I do not regret it. All festivals are peasantry. Anybody who goes, I do not associate with. I've never been to one in my life. I never will.
So you've never been to one. How do you know what they're like?
I can see enough. I've seen the sweaty bodies bumping into each other, high on ketamine, pretending
How do you
that the
know
song
you've
they heard
never
on the
went?
radio at
You
home
goofy.
is now more fantastic because they're listening to it from a loudspeaker.
I get it.
It's embarrassing.
This guy is
You've
goofy.
never been to one.
Correct. My infinite brain understands that.
This guy has arrogance. He thinks he's so intelligent, but he's not making sense. He does not make sense right. He does not make sense right here, bro. He doesn't.
You've never been to one.
Correct.
If people who think he does
My infinite
are
brain understands that.
we
are
established you have
simpy, bro.
established your brain is unique.
Idolizers,
You
bro.
threw the picture of a man that holds a very
Sycophants.
good friend of mine.
Obsequious,
It's very
bro.
harmless people.
They brown noses, brown nosers. mollifiers. That's what they are.
Is now
People
more
who
fantastic
think that
because
what
they're
Andrew
listening to
said
it
right
from
there, it
allows-
makes sense.
I get it, but
Just
just
embarrass.
to be clear, you've never been to one.
Correct.
Stupidity, bro.
My infinite brain understands
Idiocy,
that.
bro.
We
It also
have established your brain is unique.
Incredible, bro.
You tweeted a picture of Amanda Holden, a very good friend of mine. It's a very harmless picture. She's in a bikini
We live in a
on
clown
her way
world, bro.
under a rain shower, looking extraordinarily beautiful.
In a sexual pose.
And you tweeted you are a wife and a mother and you're far past a teenager.
This guy's a
There's no
hypocrite,
need
bro.
for
He
this
says
post.
certain people
Again,
are
it's just
dumb.
misogynist
But
to
this
say
guy,
that. What kind of
he,
woman of her age? She just turned 50. What kind of woman of that age
this guy
actually
is
show off her
idiotic, bro.
beautiful
And he
body
says
in a
certain.
nice bikini.
He says festival
that.
goers are idiotic. All right.
All right. But I think once you reach the right age of 50, any woman should not be interested in thirst trapping on Instagram. I think she has bigger responsibilities. I'm sure she's a very intelligent lady.
I
She's
agree
done
with
amazing
this part,
things. She's
though.
famous. She's obviously very capable.
Yeah,
I
like
think she could
showing
be
your
more
body
interesting than standing around
to
trying to
so
thirst
many
trap on
men
Instagram when
online,
she's
that's
18.
Because a lot
I
of
think she's above
online.
it. I wasn't insulting her. I was reminding her that she's actually such a fantastic person. She's done such amazing things in her life, and she's so achieved that she's actually.
Yeah, a lot of
above
women
thirst
seek
trapping.
external
I was reminding
validation, and
her of
that's
her worth,
terrible.
Because as a feminist, we're all feminists here, right? We all believe in women empowerment. I'm reminding of her of her worth.
Are you a feminist?
Sure.
You're not though, are you?
I believe in feminine empowerment, and I think feminine empowerment is yes, I do. And feminine empowerment
Only
is
if-
modesty. Modesty is empowering
Only-
for females.
You only believe in
Taking
feminist.
You don't have to
yourself
show your
off on
skin
Instagram
to
is
be
not
beautiful. I
empowering.
said
You know,
this
it's
in the
empowering when
Muslim
you say,
Jubilee
no man
debate.
but my husband can see my body. That is female empowerment. And I was reminding her of that. I was reminding her of her right age and her intellect. And there is no need for that.
How old are you now?
I am 36.
36 years old. At what point were your antics, chugging your cigars and your ripped body in your compound with your security and your Bugattis, at what age does that become a thirst trap?
I don't know if that ever stopped being a thirst trap.
So it's fine for you, once again, one rule for the man, another rule for the woman.
Hypocritical.
I've never heard this argument before, but I'm extremely intelligent. I've already deciphered how this is going to go from head to toe. It's called, I guess we can look at peacocks, right? The male peacock shows, look who I am. Look what I can do. Look at my achievement. Look at my beautiful feathers. And I guess you could call it peacocking to a degree. I'm showing the world.
You
I'm
showing
extremely
your-
physical capable. I'm extremely physically capable. Yes, that's correct. And extremely financially successful.
You
Yes, that's
stripping
correct.
off for Instagram is fine.
It's not stripping off
But,
for Instagram.
you
I'm
do.
boxing.
You do.
Boxing. No top on.
You do it all the time with your cigar and you're showing off your ripped body. That's fine for you. But if Amanda Holden dares do it, that is apparently thirst trapping.
I think me boxing with no shirt on is different than a 50-year-old woman
You
punching.
don't just box. I've seen you do ones where you wander around all moody with your cigar and your topless and stuff. So fine for you.
Are you a fan, Piers?
No, I just think it's thirst trap.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't do that.
perhaps it's successful. Maybe you should start. Perhaps it's successful because I do have a lot of female fans out there in the world. And they pretend I'm a misogynist, but it turns out that 85% of women on the planet seem to agree with me. Every single woman I've ever met in real life agrees with me. I have no female hate at all. I've never had negative interaction with women ever.
Yes, you have.
With who?
What about the BBC journalists who came to your compound?
Yeah, this guy, yeah. He just be capping, man. He be capping so much.
I've never had a negative interaction with a female
I don't
ever.
think she was a fan.
I think she
Oh, we
was.
categorize that as a negative interaction.
Well, she seemed to follow me around for a long time. I think she was a little bit.
There are lots of women, Andrew. There are lots of women I know personally. There are lots of women who find you incredibly offensive. I don't think fine. It's their right to.
I mean, you don't
It's
think
their right
so,
to.
but
It's
that
their right
doesn't
to.
mean that everyone else doesn't think so. Bro.
I've never
I
had
don't
a
think
negative interaction with a female
I don't
ever.
think she was a fan.
I think she
Oh,
was.
we categorize that as a negative interaction.
Well, she seemed to follow me around for a long time. I think she was a little bit.
There are lots of
obsessed.
women, Andrew. There are lots of women I know personally. There are lots of women who find you incredibly offensive. I don't think fine. It's their right to. It's your
Of
right
course,
to.
of course.
It's your right to not care.
Yeah.
But the idea that somehow you're this beloved person for the world's females, I think is not true. You are for a certain type of woman who likes to be treated in the way that you like to treat women.
Well, let's counter that argument, right? Because the world, as I said at the beginning, is nuanced. Am I beloved by all females? No. But when I'm sat here with someone as prestigious as you, who says you're a misogynist, and you hate women, and women hate
I think
you.
you talk in a way that is misogynistic. Yeah.
Okay, well then you make it sound like all women hate me, and that's also not the case.
And that's
Of
not the
course,
case
it's a
either.
nuanced
I didn't say all women hate you.
Some
Not all
But
women love him,
okay,
not
well,
all
then
women
you
hate
sound
him.
like all women hate
That's
me. That's also not the case.
certain women
Of
do
course.
hate
So
Andrew
you want
Tate.
I didn't say all women hate him.
Certain
some
women
agree with me, some women
don't-
don't agree with me. When I said that
Certain-
post about Amanda Holden, a lot
certain
of
women
said
dislike
Amber's actually
Andrew Tate,
completely
but they
correct.
don't hate
She's extremely
Andrew Tate.
famous, and there's no need for her to be posting pictures like this at her ripe age. I was actually empowering her. I believe that female empowerment is immodesty.
You don't actually believe in femininity.
I believe in the idea
You
of...
believe in masculinity controlling women.
No.
They have to take instructions from you. They have to do what you tell them. And that is actually what love and relationships are about.
No, I believe that men and women have different roles. I believe
Yeah.
that we were created differently by God because we are the perfect team. I believe that a man who's in his masculine frame is best suited by a woman who's in her feminine frame. I believe when we work together, we can achieve amazing things, whether
Unity.
it's raising children or for preserving society. And I believe a man has certain jobs and a woman has certain jobs.
Yeah.
You don't understand this about the things I say. When I said there that women make bad decisions in the tweet you referenced earlier, the point I was
Impulsive,
making is that women are more
impetuous.
emotional than men. That is their superpower. That is fantastic. That is a great thing. I love female emotionality. In the tweet before you tried to use it against me, I was talking about how I love a woman to be happy all the time, smiling all the time while I'm stressed. I love female emotionality. The reason women are better with children, the reason women are better with children is because they're emotional.
not what
That
your-
is their superpower.
that's not what
But
your- that's not
in a
what your tweet
position,
said.
in a position,
You're not even remembering what you
of
wrote.
course it is. I said female women are more emotional than men. It's exactly what I said. I'm saying that is a fantastic thing. But there is no light without dark. So in certain situations, the emotionality is positive. In certain situations, the emotionality is negative. We can also argue the same for men. Because what
Yeah.
happens in these, I won't try to gender my arguments. We can actually argue the same with men. Stoicism. Male stoicism is positive in certain scenarios. It can be
Yeah.
negative in others. We can come across as unempathetic or not care because we're stoic.
I mean, I know
But in certain
people-
situations, it benefits.
I know
Yeah.
people who've told
Yeah.
me that their kids are in their late teens, they're at schools where the name Andrew Tate is banned. Nobody's allowed to mention your name because the teachers think that your brand of masculinity is so toxic, they are seeing a immediate
Yeah, men-
effect on the way that young men behave, and not in a good way.
Is that what the teachers think?
Yeah.
Well, I am actually genuinely concerned by the fact that I've been banned from schools when I do nothing but preach masculine strength and excellence. But then if you actually understand how the society is going, how the world works, and all the insanity they're trying to push on all of us, I can understand why they banned me, because I speak the truth. If I was wearing a wig, Piers, and lipstick, and telling young boys to remove their genitals, would I have been banned from schools? No. They would have said, oh, you can say his name, no problem. No matter how big I got, if I had a wig on and lipstick and I had been castrated medically, I would be allowed to talk to the young boys. But as soon as I say you're supposed to grow up, get big and strong, and if your wife doesn't want a job, you need to pay for her, it's your job as a man, you gotta find some money, then I'm the public enemy number one. Garbage.
On that last point, you don't say if a woman doesn't want to work, a man should take care of it. You say a woman shouldn't work.
I said my woman won't work.
Right.
I'm talking about my personal experience. I said a girlfriend of mine, because I'm in an extremely fortunate financial position. I was before Romania took everything, of course. I have hundreds of millions of dollars. So because I am in my position, I would not want my woman to work. I think there's more important things she can do.
If you have hundreds of millions of dollars, where you said you had a worth of 17 million.
No, I said they took 17 million.
So where's the rest?
They must have taken it. I think they have it. Or maybe I lost it. I think I lost it.
You never had hundreds of millions of dollars.
Of course not.
You haven't, have you?
Of course not.
You said they took all your assets.
Exactly.
Well, did they or didn't
Of
they?
course, they took everything.
Well, they'll be watching this. Are they to assume that there are hundreds of millions more dollars they haven't got?
They're
Because you
watching
don't
this.
know.
That's right. They did absolutely everything. They have it all.
Right. But again, is that all just smoke and mirrors? Is that all just the top G stuff that you play up to, which is has no bearing on reality?
I was the most Googled man on the planet. I was the most relevant man amongst 18 to 35-year-old males, which are the highest earning and spending people on the planet. Do you really think that I am not? I can't pay my bills. Piers.
Right now, yeah. Someone's paying them for you.
Correct, you're right. Someone's paying me for me, right? My girl's got a job. She works at Starbucks. Exclusive, Andrew Tate's girl, top G's girl works at Starbucks to pay the rent. I've been exposed.
See, again, I don't know what to believe when you say stuff like that.
Well, I'm telling you, my friend, that the Romanian state...
I think you deployed deliberate smoke and mirrors because you think it plays up to the brand.
The Romanian state has taken all of my money and I'm just, getting by. That's just...
Do you worry about your impact on young men?
I think that...
Because, like I said, I'm being completely honest. I think a lot of what you say, they should be hearing.
Yeah.
And I have tangible proof every day when I walk around that they are listening to everything you say. But there is other stuff you say, well, I don't want my sons, especially in that impressionable late teenage, to be listening to that.
Correct, and that's a
And I don't want my daughter to grow up and think that actually her only success in life will come if she's at home as some kind of servant to her man.
Well, that won't be her only success, but that's a very professional question, and I'll give a very professional answer. I have a massive responsibility. With great power comes great responsibility, and I understand that young men do listen to everything I say. I do think I say good things, but you also made a very pertinent point there. You talked about the impressionable age of a teenager, and it's very easy for a teenager with their hormones and the lack of life experience to take the things I say and weaponize them and use them in the incorrect context. However, that is not my fault. You could argue that 16, 17-year-olds look at anything on the internet and misunderstand it. You could argue that all of this transgender garbage and all of these rappers talking about killing each other and all these drill artists talking about stabbing their enemies could be misunderstood by a 16-year-old.
I agree.
So that's not my fault. However,
on that,
artists talking about stabbing their enemies.
Yeah, the people that go out and do these injudicious things, murder people, that's on them. That's not on the artists, on the influencers. Yeah, what the artists and what the influencers say is horrible, but you cannot blame them for what the fans do in real life. If they cannot have if they cannot be strong-minded, if they cannot be logical, then that's on them, bro.
The artists talking about stabbing their enemies could be misunderstood by a 16-year-old.
I agree.
So that's not my fault. However,
on that I totally agree.
Okay, so I have a massive responsibility.
And you are held to a different account, actually, to all of those rappers, right?
Yeah.
There's no question. I mean, the far songs when John Legend rewrote the lyrics to Baby It's Cold Outside because apparently encouraged sexual assault, but wouldn't say a negative word about any of the disgustingly misogynist,
deplorable stuff,
actually very violent
certain rap songs
of his rap friends. That to me is total hypocrisy.
Not all of rap is terrible,
unlike all of
but
these other
certain.
people, I have taken into account my massive power and my massive responsibility, and I try to make sure that I use my words as carefully as possible so they cannot be misconstrued and misunderstood. Can I make sure that no teenager on the planet who listens to me ever misunderstands me ever? No, I can't do that, but I am doing my very best. What do I actually talk about? What do I actually say?
They don't make terrible sounding music, but the message is terrible.
It's always going to suck. It's going to be pain. You're going to do nothing but
uninspirational. It's not positive.
Most men don't have that.
But that you're going to suffer as a nobody, because trust me, nobody suffers. Or you're going to suffer the pain it takes to become great. Life is not
The
supposed to
pain
be
of
happy.
discipline is better than the pain of regret.
Work hard,
The pain
dedicate
of
yourself, get
discipline
strong, get
is
rich,
better
go through whatever it
than
takes
the
to become
pain
somebody
of regret.
That's my overall
It's one of
message,
the
and I
best
believe
things.
it's the positive.
You're going to get rich to be happy.
No.
In fact, most of the super rich people I know in life are
Richness
incredibly unhappy.
does not equate
so
to
you're
happiness.
A kind of false dream.
Well, I don't
Happy
rich
people,
are
there are
rich.
happy people that are rich.
And a lot of people who have very little money can be very happy.
Have you ever seen a rich person give their money away?
Yes, of course.
Okay, do you give all your money away? Will that make you happier, please?
You have to
I
be
told you all the Romanians, they take
holistically
it all. I
straight.
didn't smile that day. And let me tell you that the reason I tell
You
about
can
men to become
have
financially
money and still
successful
be
is two reasons.
miserable. You
One,
have
because
to
you
work
have a job
on
as a man
yourself
to protect, provide,
holistically
you can do neither of those
before
things
you
if
get
are
the
poor.
money, before
That's
you
the
get
first reason. And the second
achieve
reason I
financial
actually
abundance.
preach to young men to become as financially successful as possible is a greater, broader reason. And I believe we've entered a very interesting stage in humanity where the matrix is finally cracked. 3 or 4 years ago, there were certain narratives you could not talk against. But with Elon Musk owning X, and now we have Rumble, we have a lot more information on the internet. People are starting to tell the truth about many different subjects. There's a whole bunch of them we can name. And I like the idea of people who are free thinking with a free mind,
Independent
without matrix
minded.
control,
Yeah, but hang on.
making as much money as
Hang
possible
on.
because it takes money to win wars, and I want these people to be financially successful.
Right.
That's why I tell all of my fans who believe in me to become as rich as possible because they understand that everything that the government does is lie to them.
Fine.
We need finance.
You use the word truth there. I don't think it's necessarily that people want to promote truth. They want to promote their opinions. Often people's opinions on facts can be very different. People can take the same sort of facts
Opinion
as
is not a
opinions.
fact.
Doesn't mean it's the truth.
Not
Right?
always.
Well, that's true, but I mean, I
They
don't
can
believe
be
it is my
opinion.
truth.
An opinion can
Right.
be a
Neither
fact.
do I.
Well, there are facts which have to be accepted, and you can have an opinion about them. You and I can disagree about
Yeah,
all
but
sorts of opinions, but actually not facts.
Okay, but I can argue this point where the matrix comes
The
out
truth
with a
is
fact,
indisputable.
and all
The
opinions
truth
countering that
is
fact are censored, and they are
indisputable,
destroyed, then that
irrefutable,
fact becomes
incontrovertible.
de facto truth, because it's the only
What
version
Piers
of
said
reality which
a
exists
long time
to be
ago,
ingested by the mind.
incontrovertible.
So you still
Let
need
me ask
varying opinions on all topics.
Indubitable.
I think that what you, let's put it this way.
Sure.
You would have relationships with women and encourage them to take part in webcam sexual stuff?
No.
Well, actually, yes.
Why are we going back to this?
Because there's one question I want to ask you,
This
Charlton,
the-
right? And both sides made a lot of money, right?
Okay.
And in most cases, because they haven't complained in most cases, you would assume it was a mutually beneficial transactional relationship, right? I can assume that because thousands of women have been through this and most of them haven't come forward and complained about the way they were treated. It was transactional. But was it moral? Do you think what you've been making money from, park the illegality aspect to one side, do you feel it was moral?
10 years ago, I helped women promote their profiles on the internet. Correct. 10 years ago. Firstly, I have not been involved with it for 7 years. It's not how I make money. I haven't touched it for a very long time. 7 years is a long
You made a lot of
time.
money from it.
I made some money from it a long time
How
ago.
much?
Some money. I can't remember.
Millions?
Mm,
Millions?
Perhaps.
Millions. You made millions of
A
pounds.
long time
Well,
ago.
hang on. It's important. You made millions of pounds
Yep.
from sexual webcam
Yep.
activity where you and the woman doing the webcams would make money. You accept that?
No. What I did is...
Well, that is how you made money.
No, it's a long time ago, and I talked about this at length on many different podcasts,
Yeah.
and I don't hide it. I said a long time ago, 10 years ago, I helped women with the tax side and the technical side and the promotion of
Well, they
their
work for
profiles.
you.
On the promotion of their profiles on certain websites. And I said about this, and I said, I've been involved in it for 7 years. The only reason this is even coming up again is because I'm monumentally famous, because nobody cares. We're in
Well, no, it's
Bucharest.
not.
Piers.
It's
We're
not.
in Bucharest,
It-
Romania. Do you understand that there's a video chat studio with girls talking to men online? Right there, outside that window.
I'm sure.
In fact, there's about 10 or 15,000
I'm only asking-
women in this city who do that
The
job
fact that you-
now. And the fact that I had
Andrew.
I dipped my toe in it 10 years ago isn't even significant.
I'm only asking if you think it's moral.
Do I think it's moral?
Because you speak in such a morally self-righteous way now. Do you think that that was moral?
Well, I wasn't religious back then, but let me sit and
Because
ask.
you're now, you converted
No,
to
I'm
Islam.
correct.
You're a Muslim.
Correct.
They have, a code
Correct.
of behavior. Do you think that that fell short of
I
that?
have to answer as a
Religiosity
professional.
doesn't
As a professional,
equate
I would say,
to righteousness.
judging
I
by
said
my
this
current
before. I
work,
said
no,
this
I
in the
don't
Jubilee
think that women
Muslim
need to
Jubilee
be
reaction.
However,
There are
is-
good
So you
people
made
that
money
are
immoral.
there are
You
good
can admit
people
that.
that are
it's nuanced like
there
other
are
things.
good people
At the time I
that
was
are
atheistic, I know
religious.
that some of my girls.
You don't have
talk
to
men away
be
from suicide. A
religious
lot of
to
men
be
are
good,
ridiculously
to be
lonely. I would
laudable,
also
to
say
be
a lot of the
positive,
lessons I know about men
to
and
be
how they
truly
think and how
high
lonely and sad
vibrational,
they can
to
be
be
and how
truly
difficult life is as a
honorable.
man actually came from that era because I saw a lot of very successful men with a wife,
Religiosity
with kids,
does
with
not
money,
equate
pouring
to
their heart out to
morality,
20-year-old they never
Sure.
met, about how sad
to
they were.
rectitude,
I learned a lot about the world, and I know that a lot of
to
suicide was
uprightness.
prevented, and I made a lot of women millionaires. But would I do it now? No. However, I'm in a very different situation now. I'm a different person. I'm religious.
I hate
I'm
when
also
people
extremely financially successful. Please
make
understand here. I come
it
from
seem
Marshall,
like
Region.
all
I came from one of the worst
non-religionists
areas inside
are
of the UK.
evil.
I could have stabbed someone. All of my friends were breaking into cars, breaking into houses. Most of my friends were in jail. What did I do? I promoted accounts on the internet.
You made
There's
money.
good people
Didn't
that
sell
are
crack, Didn't
non-religionists.
sell drugs, didn't rob anyone, didn't shoot anyone.
There's good
now,
and bad
because I
in
am
all
successful,
communities.
I'm going to be held to this moral standard by people who grew up
Remember
in
that.
fancy homes with white picket fences and went to private school.
Well, no, actually,
I am from Marshall.
Not all
Washington, and the
religionists
biggest crime I
are
committed was
good
completely
people.
legally promoting internet profiles.
Right.
There are people around me who did far
actually, you're only
worse
going to be
for
held.
far less.
No, you're only going to be held to the standard of the religion you converted to, which you've already
When you take
said.
the Shahada,
Hang
all
on.
your former
Which
sins
you've
are
already
erased.
said would look at that as immoral.
When you take the Shahada, all of your former sins are erased. And I actually encourage you to find the light and convert to Islam.
As you take, thank you very much.
Yeah, this, yeah, bruh, it's, yeah. Let me know what y'all think. Give me y'all candid thoughts. Is Andrew Tate a clown, bro? Is he a liar? Is he a hypocrite? Let me know what y'all think. Is Piers a cornball? Yeah. Let me know, man. Yeah, I'm gonna do the part 2. I'm gonna review that. I will review that tomorrow. Yeah, after I upload, I will upload this right after I get done recording this. I will upload this to YouTube. It will be up in a few hours, bro. After that, I will review the part 2. Stay tuned, man. Yeah. I agreed. I concurred with certain statements that Andrew Tate said. Statements that Andrew Tate said. I do concur with certain statements that Andrew Tate said, but I disagree with other statements. He was bugging, bro, saying all festival goers are stupid. They do drugs. This guy he's tweaking, bro. He doesn't even, he never went to a festival, but he's saying everybody is stupid. Everybody who goes to a festival is this guy is a clown, bro. That's what I think. But he does make sense about certain things. Yeah, man, the traditional role of a woman is to nurture, bro. Like certain things he said are true, but other things are odious, false, not true, nonsense, hogwash, horrible, bro. But yeah, man. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, man. I don't hate Andrew Tate. That's what I want people to know, man. I don't hate this dude, man. I just think he's a hypocrite. He contradicts. He's dishonest. He doesn't. He evades accountability, bro. But he tells other people to not evade accountability, but he evades it. I think everybody should not evade. I think nobody should evade accountability. Everybody in this world should take accountability for their actions, bro. That's what respectable people do. Straight up and down, man. This is super long, elongated, longer than the first video that I did. Yeah, man. I will dipshire, man. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all, man. If y'all like this video, man, like, comment, share, subscribe. Let's blow my channel up, man. I believe we can do it, man. Yeah, bro. Let's continue to good will defeat evil, bro. In this battle. In this battle, man. Yeah. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, man. One love to the family of DTA elevation. One love to the family of DTA. One love to the family of DTA elevation V4. No GTA, man. I'm gone.